How to do, folks? Cynical Bastard coming at you live and direct. And I know what you're thinking. Why is this pumpkin with facial hair, quite overgrown facial hair, talking to me? Well, the answer to that is quite simple. The drugs have finally kicked in. But don't worry. I'm not a haunty, spooky type of pumpkin. As long as you generally agree with everything I have to say. Otherwise, I will come and eat your brains. I'd like to rant to you today about common courtesy, or more specifically, the lack thereof. Where has common courtesy gone in this world, ladies and gentlemen? Is it just the ideals that are taught by millennial parents nowadays and all the old school values are tossed out the window? I know it doesn't look as such, and I could pass for a 15-year-old high schooler, but I'm a 33-year-old gentleman. And I was brought up to be commonly courteous to everybody. No matter how much beneath the surface I want to murder them methodically and slow with my bubbling rage of anger. And I don't actually mean I'm going to murder somebody. I'm not a homicidal maniac. I'm just a metaphorical homicidal maniac. You understand, of course. But common courtesy is just out the window. Humans don't really seem to care about other humans anymore. It seems to take some sort of national tragedy to bond us all together, and I'm wondering why we have to wait till then. I'm saying people all over the world join hands. It's called a love train. My biggest common courtesy beef is the common courtesy hello. Now, I wish, and I suppose I could, but it's just not a quality that's ingrown in me. I wish so very much that I could talk to nobody ever. And as I'm filming this video, I realize that I'm being insanely uncommonly courteous and chewing gum. So if you excuse me, that's much better. You know the common courtesy hello. You pass by somebody and it's just you two in the world, and you give them a, hey, how you doing? Hey, how's it going? How are you, Chief? Hey, bud. How to do, partner? Whatever strikes your fancy. And you know, it's a bit awkward, but I'll tell you what's more awkward. When you catch eyes with that person, what is that? That is just terrible. Is that just my shiny lip? I think that might be bubblegum. Let's pretend it doesn't exist. When you catch eyes with that certain someone coming your way, and then you finally make it next to each other, and then all of a sudden, you decide to dart your eyes down to either your cell phone, which I guess is a less awkward play, but sometimes I've made it right up to that person with my eyes locked on them, ready to give them the common courtesy hello, and they just turn this way. So it's just a doubly like, I'm not commonly courteous, and also, fuck you. And I can't tell you how many times I've been ready with a hey, and we get there, and I go, hey, help, and then they just turn their head, but I'll just continue and go, hey, yeah, good to see you. Take care now, bye-bye then. And they'll still not answer me, but they'll just probably deep down feel like a jerk-off. And I take some sort of satisfaction from that, which is just delightful. If you're in a public line, you give the person in front of you at least a foot of distance between the two of you. I should not be giving you a piggyback ride to the cash register. I should not be able to hear you breathing and or feel it in my ear, which is encounters that I've most certainly run into in my life. 1 foot away, there is such a thing as personal space. It even applies in a grocery store. If I go to a spot that I'm looking to buy something from and somebody's already there, I'll walk away and I'll go to a new spot. and find something else that I need and then circle back, and usually that person will be gone. But I can't tell you how many times I've been standing in a spot, not for very long, looking over what I want to get, and somebody's just right next to me. And not even right next to me, but like here, on my shoulder, looming over, trying to see what's going on. And really, that's just telling another human being that you're nothing more than a pillar of this building to me. You could just as easily be a shelf that I'm trying to look around. Not a person. I don't care what you're looking for. I need to get what I need to get right now. What are you rushing for? What are you, a doctor trying to get to your open heart surgery? Probably not. You're probably just annoyed that you have to take some time, and you won't take that time. But just be commonly courteous and take that time. Personal space is a real thing, people. Okay? And if I don't invite you into it directly, please don't just take it from me. That also goes for obnoxiously loud cell phone conversations in public. Particularly the ones that are on a two-way. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not your living room. It's a public forum. I'm not interested in the dramatic happenings of your life and how Diane was at work and didn't give you the proper color copy paper, and you felt that that was a slight on your world, but Brian was also trying to cheat on your cousin with your other cousin, and you have cousin cheating issues. I don't care! Take that shit and get out of a public forum. It's not proper. I don't even talk on the cell phone in public, even from one end. And if I have to, it's a dead down emergency. That's what texting is for. If you really need to talk to someone just to occupy your time, which seems to be what a lot of cell phone conversations are around me, just because 98% of the time it's like, what are you doing? I'm just over here at Target getting a bookshelf. I'm just over here at the McDonald's grabbing a Big Mac. What are you doing? That's a frivolous conversation that I'm now a party to and didn't sign off on being a party to. So commonly courteously, please remove me from the equation. What else? Turn signals. Have I missed a legal decree where turn signals don't exist anymore? I can't tell you how many intersections I've come to where a man, just as I have made it to the intersection, as he's been sitting there for a very long time, man or woman, I don't discriminate, could be either one. Just as I make it to the intersection, they finally come to the conclusion that they want to turn the exact way I'm going. No, you don't get that privilege to make that choice anymore. I'm here now, and you had plenty of time to figure it out. You should have turned a long time ago. And you know how many different turns I could have made, or I could have not waited for, or I could have gone around you if you had just had a turn signal on? I put a turn signal on going into my fucking driveway. Just so anybody, and there could be nobody around me. It's just good common practice for your car driving skills. Use your turn signals if you're turning, and use them in a good bit of advancement. People, come on. Just be commonly nice to each other. It's not that hard in the world. And that's probably everything I have to ruminate on at this point that I could think of right off the top of my head. So if you excuse me, I have to attend to some important business and give a common courtesy flush.